40 next week was once again in a catalyst for the Storm. She finished with 5 points and 7 assists. She finished the finals averaging 11 assists in the 3 games. The 26-year-old Stewart set a WNBA record by scoring more than 20 points with the sixth straight finals game. She did earn WNBA Finals MVP honors for the second time in her young career, becoming the fifth player to win multiple Finals MVPs. Her play all season showed she had fully recovered from a torn Achilles tendon that sidelined her for the entire 2019 season. Stewart and Bird were both on the bench most of the fourth quarter with the game well in hand. The team hugged at center court after the final buzzer. Aja Wilson, the league's regular season MVP, tried to keep the Aces alive. She had 14 of her 18 points in the first quarter, hitting 5 of her 9 shots. She also took 4 of the team's 6 free throws in the period. The Aces, who led the league by averaging more than 23 attempts in the regular season, only had 5 totals in Game 2. Coach Bill Laimbeer voiced his displeasure that the team couldn't get to the foul line on Sunday. Despite scoring the first 7 points of the game, Las Vegas trailed 23-21 after one quarter after the Storm closed the period on an 11-2 run. Seattle then scored the first 6 points of the second. Stewart picked up her third foul early in the third quarter and had to sit for the final 7+ minutes. It didn't matter as Seattle extended its 2-point advantage to a 43-34 at the half. Seattle put the game away in the third quarter, scoring 12 of the 14 points in the period. The Aces' future is bright. The team was missing Liz Cambage and Kelsey Plum, starters from last year. So Cambage was granted a medical exemption to skip playing this season in the bubble in Bradenton, Florida, and Plum to her Achilles tendon. So while the Aces lost, they were missing their two star players, and Cambage and Kelsey Plum. Now listen, whenever you're missing a star player, and this has happened in the bubble with the NBA, when the Wizards lost out with John Wall, Bradley Beal, and Davis Bertans, I didn't know that Wizards team. I thought the Wizards team would just picked up a couple of players, people off the street, and told them, hey, you're playing for us in the bubble. The Wizards only won one game. They lost all the rest of their games. Crazy, but sometimes it happens. Moving on here. So the Yankees. I saw the game last night, and listen, the Yankees, they hit 118 miles per hour home run, first in MLB history. And let me tell you how it was done. So this is the Giancarlo Stanton, whom New York Yankees fans have been waiting to see for the past 3 seasons. Stanton has hit 2 home runs in Tuesday's Game 2 of the Yankees division series against the Tampa Bay Rays, and the second one was a legendary 3-run blast off Tampa Bay star Tyler Glasnow, a 118.3 mile per hour rocket in the 4th inning, an estimated 458 feet to the walkway behind the seats in left center. Giancarlo Stanton also homered in the 2nd inning, a low liner down the right field line and just cleared the fence. Giancarlo Stanton's second home run off Glasnow's 97 mile per hour fastball was just the 16th home run of the StatCast era since 15. He clocked a 118 mile per hour or higher, and he has 8 of them. He also has homered into the Yankees 4 playoff games and joins Juan Gonzalez of the 96 Rangers as the only players with 5 home runs in the first 4 games of the postseason. His 11 RBIs in 4 games is one short of the 12th that Reggie Sanders had in the first 4 games for the Cardinals in 2005. So Stanton, who won MVP honors for the Marlins in 17 when he slugged 59 home runs, has played only 41 games the past 2 seasons because of injuries. In his first 2 postseasons with the Yankees in 18 and 19, he hit 2.35, 3.25, and 4.12 with 2 home runs and 3 RBIs in 10 games. So listen, this was a 118.3 rocket that Giancarlo Stanton hit in their game against the Rays. And that series is tied 1-1. Game 3 is tonight. So if you're a Yankee fan, if you're a Rays fan, don't want to miss this game because he could hit another 118.3 mile per hour rocket tonight against the Rays. Check your local listings for times in your area for the game tonight. Moving on here. So last night was Game 4 of the NBA Finals, and Miami Heat has been banged up with injuries to Bam Adebayo and Goran Dragic. So we gotta take into consideration this is the Lakers. This is the Lakers to win or lose. The Lakers are up 3-1 in the NBA Finals, so this is their game to win or lose. And let me tell you how it all went down last night. So LeBron James shouts could be heard all the way to the top of the nearly empty arena. Anthony Davis had just made a three-pointer to give the Lakers a 9-point lead with 39.5 seconds remaining. He was shouting too, but it was James's voice that carried as the Lakers' socially distanced fan section erupted in cheers. In Game 4 of the NBA Finals on Tuesday night at Event Health Arena, the Lakers found a way. The Lakers had just enough to come out ahead 102-96 and take a 3-1 series lead over the Heat. James led the Lakers finishing with 28 points, 8 assists, and 12 rebounds, while Anthony Davis scored 22 points with 4 assists and 9 rebounds. Both James and Davis made 8 of 16 shot attempts. There will be no repeat domination from Heat star Jimmy Butler, who was guarded by Davis. He only scored 11 points in the first quarter, making his first 5 shots, and then didn't make another field goal until the fourth quarter. After a 40-point triple-double in Game 3, Butler finished with 22 points, 9 assists, and 10 rebounds in Game 4. It was another sloppy game for the Lakers, who committed 9 first-half turnovers, 5 by James. It was part of why they couldn't pull it away from the Heat despite Miami's slow shooting percentages. In the middle of the fourth quarter, James got to the basket, took some contact, and fell to the ground. As the ball went into the hoop, he lay flat on his back and flexed his arms, starting up into the rafters. The Miami Heat did not relent, and James wasn't going to either. It had been a tie game in the second half of the fourth quarter. The Heat had been pulled even after a banked in 3 by Duncan Robinson and then a layup through traffic by Butler. With the Heat down 90-88, Butler had an open look for a corner three-pointer, but missed. Moments later, James found Kentavious Caldwell-Pope for a three-pointer that he sank. The next score belonged to Caldwell-Pope, 2, a driving layup with 2 minutes left in the game to give the Lakers a 7-point lead. Against a dangerous team like Miami, they couldn't feel comfortable just yet, but that will come soon. Yeah, so Game 5 is tomorrow night, Thursday night. Check your local listings for the game in your area. The Lakers gotta win tomorrow night if they have any chance of hosting the Larry O'Brien Trophy in Miami. So, Game 5 tomorrow night, fans. As I end today, I'm going to take on a little playoff scores now. So, all 4 Major League Baseball's best-of-5 division series are in action Tuesday, with 2 NLDS Game 1s and a pair of LDS Game 2s. The Braves started the afternoon with the Game 1 win over the Marlins before the Astros homered their way to another win over the Athletics. The Rays evened up their LDS matchup with the Yankees by homering 4 times and checking out their competition 18 times in the Game 2 victory. The Padres are facing the Dodgers in Tuesday night's nightcap. Here's a look at today's games and what to know about each game. MLB playoff scores. So, yesterday's final games. Braves 9, Marlins 5. Braves leads 1-0. Final, Astros 5, A's 2. Astro leads 2-0. Rays 7, Yankees 5. Series tied 1 game apiece. And the Padres and Dodgers on FS1. Series tied 0-0. That game will be starting tonight. So Yankees opener strategy backfired. So the Yankees chose to go with rookie right-hander Deivi Garcia as their starter in Game 2. But it turned out manager Aaron Boone was using Garcia as the game's opener. The 21-year-old threw just 1 inning and allowed a solo homer to Randy Arozarena before southpaw J.A. Happ entered in the second. Happ allowed 4 more runs via a pair of 2-run homers off Mike Zunino and Manuel Margaret and put the Yankees in a 5-1 hole. Boone's pitching plan backfired. The Rays added 2 more runs after Happ left, and the Yankees never dug themselves out in the 7-5 loss. Tampa evened the LDS at 1 game apiece with the victory. However, Giancarlo Stanton made things interesting with 1 powerful swing off the bat. Stanton knocked a 458 feet, 3-1 home run off Rays starter Tyler Glasnow to bring the club within 1 run in the 4th inning. Stanton, who homered twice on Tuesday, joined Lou Gehrig and Reggie Jackson as the only Yankees to ever homer in 4 consecutive postseason games. Read more about the Rays win on TampaBayRays.com. So another game that went final last night, Valdez Springer pushed Astros to 2-0 lead. So left-hander Framber Valdez was instrumental to the Astros during the regular season, and it's apparent that remains the case in the playoffs. Coming off a big relief outing in the wild card series, Valdez made his first postseason start on Tuesday against the Athletics. He pitched well enough to push the Astros to a 2-0 advantage in the best-of-5 series. Valdez struck out 4 batters and held the A's to hit 5 hits, a walk, and 2 runs over 7 innings of work. He threw 103 pitches on the afternoon and generated 6 swing and misses on his curveball. His fastball, meanwhile, averaged about 93 miles per hour. While Valdez may have paced the Astros' effort, they also received a big game from outfielder George Springer, who homered twice and drove in 3 runs. Springer now has 5 career postseason home runs at Dodger Stadium, putting him 1 behind Reggie Jackson for the most all time. According to ESPN Stats and Info, neither Springer nor Jackson has played for LA. Catcher Martin Maldonado delivered a home run as well. The Astros can complete the series sweep on Wednesday afternoon. So, another game that went final. Braves power up, pull away after tempers flare. So Braves and Marlins, the Braves are actually up 1-0 in that series. But tempers were flared in this game. The Marlins and the Braves started the day's action with a back-and-forth contest that featured some elevated tempers after Ronald Acuna Jr., who hit a leadoff homer in the bottom of the first, was struck by a Sandy Alcantara pitch in the 3rd inning. Acuna appeared to take exception to Alcantara's errant offering, and the two sides jogged before he took his base. He later scored from first. While Alcantara had no reason to intentionally hit Acuna, it's worth noting that the two sides have history. Acuna has been hit by 19 pitches in his career. 4 of those have been thrown by Marlins pitchers. No other team has hit Acuna more than twice. The FS1 broadcast interviewed Braves manager Brian Stinker during the game. When asked about the hit by pitch, he said, "I'll probably get in trouble if I tell you exactly what I think." Clearly then, the Braves believed the Marlins were intentionally throwing at Acuna. So moving on, the scrappy Marlins clawed their way to a 3-1 third, giving them a 4-1 lead. But the Braves got 2 back in the bottom half, where the lead remained 4-3, heading to the 7th for the Marlins. That seemed like a big deal at the time, given that the Marlins were 28-0 in the regular season when leading on their way to the 7th inning. Then again, the Braves had 13 come-from-behind wins this season and had some serious offensive firepower. They showed it in the 7th. Back-to-back singles started things off to Chase starter Sandy Alcantara. It could be argued the bullpen should have taken over, and surely Alcantara only giving up a single to Ronald Acuna while seeing him in the 4th time was a bit of a dodge to bullet, given an alternative in a 1-1 game. But the Marlins then pegged Yimi Garcia, a right-hander, to face Freddie Freeman, who absolutely destroyed righties. It actually worked for a quick second. Freeman grounded into a fielder's choice. But then Marcell Ozuna singled to tie it, and then Travis Alderón broke things open with a 3-1 shot. It's worth mentioning that Garcia had major problems in giving up the long ball in previous years. 32 home runs allowed in 159 203 innings before this season. But he had made it through 15 regular season innings and 2 more innings so far in the postseason without having allowed a single homer. Perhaps it was only a matter of time against this powerful Braves offense due to Arnoon's huge season at the plate has flown under the radar. He hit 3.21, 3.86, and 5.33 with 8 doubles, 9 homers, and 34 RBIs in 44 regular season games. Later in the 7th, Swanson added a 2-1 shot, and all of a sudden the Braves didn't even have to sweat out the late innings. A 6-run 7th was the difference here, and the Braves led the best-of-5 series 1-0. Something to watch as the series goes the distance. Max Fried only threw 70 pitches for Braves, and with no off days this year in this round, Game 5 now could see number 1 coming back on short rest. The guess is Fried can handle that. For the Marlins, Alcantara went to 95 pitches. That's not a ton, and they'll probably be okay to come back, but he'd be the more confirmed of the two. So that's all of the time I have for you all today on the Sports Report. Make sure you guys catch the NBA Finals on Thursday night. Make sure you guys watch NFL on Sunday. Make sure you guys are following the college protocols, the college football, and everything. And I'll be back on Monday to give you more of the College Sports Report here on E-Radio WMCR. I hope everyone has a safe and great upcoming weekend. And I'll be back Monday for a new episode of the College Sports Report. I'll see you next week.